Hey everyone, my name is Nejad, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about a couple new items that I have recently added to my Sellfy store. So the first item is actually going to be an ebook, kinda. It's more like a pamphlet, I would say, but I made this little ebook for the Panasonic G6. After I made this video last year, a lot of you went out and bought the G6, and ever since then I get, messages all the time about questions about that camera and, stuff like that. So I just thought that I'd make a little ebook that would hopefully answer all of those questions, because I know I try to get back to as many of you as I can, but sometimes I just don't get around to it. So if you want to know as much as I know about that camera, I tried to put as much information as I possibly knew about that camera, because I've owned it like 2 times now, and I've owned it just recently again, mostly for the purpose of, basically just, relearning all the little quirks about that camera so that I could, better write out this little ebook. So for the past couple of months, I've been just, writing out as much tips and gear suggestions as I possibly can, and I put it into a little ebook. It's not a very long read, but there's a bunch of information on there that will hopefully be helpful for any of you out there who bought the G6 on my recommendation. So the other item kind of goes along with that, and it's actually a LUT pack specifically designed for the G6 using the settings that I mentioned in this video. So if you have a G6 and you set it up like I do, you can go check that video out. And this will even work if you have like a G7 or maybe like a GH3. The Panasonic cameras, they typically have the same type of natural profiles, but some cameras like the GH4, for instance, do have slightly different color science. So the GH4 and the GH3 don't look the same. The GH4 is a little warmer than the GH3's footage, even if you set them up exactly the same. So just keep that in mind. So if you're applying a LUT from the G6 pack onto your G7 and it doesn't look exactly the way it's supposed to, sometimes you might have to mess with either the intensity or the color temperature in the color tab of whatever video editing software you're using. So one more thing that I did want to mention is if you do end up buying the guide for the G6, it's only gonna be like $5, but if you do end up buying that, there will be a 10% off discount code for the G6 LUTs. So if you just wanna save yourself a little bit on the G6 LUT pack, which is also only $5, you'll be able to save 10% if you buy the G6 ebook. So for the LUT pack for the G6, I tried to create as many looks that I could that I think you all would actually want to use. I did mess around with like some, orange and teal type looks and some, more vintage faded looks and stuff like that. So if you guys are kind of into the way that I grade my footage, a lot of that will be reflected in the G6 LUTs. And obviously, if you don't like how intense my fade or whatever is, you can always just lower the intensity of the LUTs and just get a nice subtle look to it. But anyways, yeah, those were the 2 products that I just released in my Sellfy store. Again, if you get the ebook / e-pamphlet for the G6, there will be a 10% off discount code for the G6 LUTs. Anyways, I hope that G6 pamphlet / guide helps you get the most out of that little camera. Again, there's a bunch of tips and tricks and as much info as I can fit on to that ebook, as well as like some lens and gear recommendations. I just try to fit as much as I could in there without making it too long of a read. So hopefully that'll help you get the most out of that little camera. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me, and you can even hit that bell if you want to be notified for when I upload new videos. But until next time, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.